Roman Senate, the bloody 4-year reign of Caligula. We might give other names than anger to Caligula's maladies, paranoia, say, or sadism. But Seneca, to advance his case, lumps all of that emperor's cruelties under the heading ira. Caligula casts a long shadow over on anger. Seneca often mentions him by name, but also invokes him implicitly when he associates anger with instruments of torture, with flames and swords, and with civil strife. The nightmare of the Caligula years, it seems, had taught Seneca the high cost of unrestrained wrath, not just to the individual soul, but to the whole Roman state. It was unusual in Rome for a philosopher and moral essayist to occupy a seat in the Senate, but Seneca was an unusual man. In youth, he studied with teachers who embraced Stoicism, a system imported from Greece that counseled mental self-control and adherence to the dictates of divine reason. He chose to follow the Stoic path, but not in any orthodox way. As a mature writer, he drew on many philosophic traditions, or else eschewed theory altogether in favor of practical ethics enhanced by rhetorical flourish. On Anger is a case in point. Only a portion of the treatise, largely confined to the first half, is demonstrably rooted in Stoic principles. The second half, from which much of this volume is drawn, deals with the problem of anger more pragmatically, reminding us, in its most banal passages, not to overload our schedules or take on tasks at which we're likely to fail. Seneca, to judge by his self-presentation in his writings, was a self-reflective and inward-looking man. He describes, in one of the passages translated, his Zen-like nightly reviews of his own ethical choices, tranquil meditations conducted in the quiet of his bedroom. Yet we know that Seneca also enjoyed proximity to power and eagerly played the game of Roman politics, sometimes with disastrous results. In his 30s, he entered the Roman Senate, where he gained a reputation as an original and compelling speaker. But his eloquence only aroused the envy of Emperor Caligula, who reportedly wanted him killed, but was himself assassinated before taking action. Under Claudius, Caligula's successor, Seneca came under suspicion again and was exiled to Corsica. The charge brought against him, adultery with one of Caligula's sisters, was likely a pretext. Quite possibly, On Anger was begun during that period of exile. After 8 years on Corsica and the near extinction of his political career, Seneca was recalled to Rome in AD 49 with a most important brief, instructing and guiding the 13-year-old Nero, Claudius's adopted son and presumptive heir. With the support of Agrippina, another of Caligula's sisters and Claudius's new wife, Seneca became more influential than ever, and also extremely rich. It was at about this time, presumably, that he completed On Anger. Our only firm clue as to its date is that Novatus, to whom it is addressed, changed his name to Gallio in late 52 or early 53, so the treatise must have been published before that. Perhaps the work was circulated at Rome to herald its author's return there, and to advertise the humanity of the man re-entering the inner circle of imperial power, much as a modern politician might publish a memoir prior to a run for higher office. Humanity, in the sense of humaneness, is indeed the keynote of On Anger. To counter the impulses of anger, here defined as the desire to punish, Seneca reminds us of how much we humans have in common. Above all, our forgivability. In between monsters like Caligula and saints like Socrates stand the other 99.9% of the human race, sinners all, yet all deserving of clemency. Let's be kinder to one another, Seneca exhorts in the impassioned final segment of his treatise. We're just wicked people living among wicked people. Only one thing can give us peace, and that's a pact of mutual leniency. This theme of a shared fallibility underlying the social contract recurs often in Seneca's writings, but is nowhere